You know, Hollywood's a weird place, so let's make it happen. In my dreams, I hold a knife needs to be on the screen, you guys. Buckle up, Buttercup, for sure with this one. This is for all my Agatha Christie isolated location thrillers, police investigation fans out there. Let's manifest that for Hannah. I could do this all day, you guys, but let me... Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse, and welcome to a recommendation-ish wish video. So this weekend, after a lot of obsessing and after finishing yet another read through of my book, I decided I was going to treat myself and watch something on TV on Sunday night. So I was scrolling through Amazon Prime and I stumbled upon a show called The Reunion, which, buzzword. If you guys have been here for a minute, you know, buzzword for me. And I was starting to read the description and I was like, this sounds low-key familiar to a book that I absolutely loved. And if you guys have been here for a minute, you might remember me reading The Reunion by Guillermo Musso a few years ago and loving it. Long story short, the show on Amazon Prime, which is new to Prime but appears to be 3 years old, is in fact based on this book, which I'm super excited about. Did I start watching it? No, because I knew that I was going to get completely sucked in and it was already 9:45 last night and there's no way I was going to do it. But it got me to thinking about books that I love that I think should be turned into movies, TV shows, you know the drill. So if you've also been here for half a minute, you know maybe that I re-engaged with Netflix after many, many years of being off of it, so I could watch The Hunting Wives. Loved, obsessed. Similar to the book, different than the book. Very, very good time, super bingeable. And I started watching Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I realized Luckiest Girl Alive is on there. And what else is on there that I'm forgetting about? There's so many shows that are on there. Oh, Woman in Cabin 10 by the guys you time. By the time you guys see this video, haven't even had that much caffeine. By the time you guys see this video, that will be out as well. So anyway, got me to thinking about books that I want to see on the screen, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Some books I find are a bit cinematic. Some books I just want to see what they would look like on the screen, and some books I feel like as I was reading them, I could actually like envision what they could be like. So first things first, The Reunion by Guillermo Musso. This book, I mean, tabs will tell you the entire story, you guys. It is about a group of friends who went to an elite prep school, and then, are we 20 years later here? I feel like 20 is always the buzzword. They return for a school reunion, and it's 25 years later. So they're on the French Riviera in the present day, and it says, once inseparable, Thomas, Maxime, and Fanny were best friends of a girl named Vinka, who at 19 disappeared during a snowstorm while they were all in prep school. So these three friends have not talked to each other since graduation 25 years ago. But now, as part of this reunion, they also got a message that there are plans for a new gymnasium, and they know they have to go back one more time because there's a body buried in the gym's walls, and they're the ones who put it there. I loved this book. This is one of those books where I'm like, this sounds like something I might like. I loved this. There's a map. There's a dark and messed up group of friends. There's past and present timelines. There's some letters written in here. I had the best time with this, so I'm very excited for the show. I don't even know if it's French with English subtitles. I'll have to find out. Stay tuned for more. But anyway, very excited for this, and I have an entire stack of books to talk about. First book I want to talk about is The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. I read this one recently. You guys are going to see a theme here. Past and present timelines, which I think would be so great on the big screen. I love that. We have the 70s. We have a mysterious murder in the past. And then we have a complicated relationship in the present. So in June 1975, the Taylor family, they have 3 children, and 2 of their teenagers, one of their sons and their daughter, are found murdered in the family home. The third brother was kind of a low-key suspect at the time, but nothing ever came of it. Case was never solved. Obviously it haunted the town. Obviously it haunted the family. Fast forward to today, and we are meeting our, by the title, ghostwriter, Olivia, and she has spent her entire professional life hiding from the fact that she is the only child of the surviving son, who also happens to be a super famous horror writer, who has reached out to her through his agent to have her ghostwrite his last book, or his next book as the case may be. And when she goes, and she doesn't want to go because there's all sorts of reasons she doesn't want to go home, but she needs the money. So she winds up going home to seeing her dad, and turns out he wants her to ghostwrite his memoir. And for the first time in his entire life, he's going to talk about what happened in 1975. This book is so good. The 1975 of it all, I can just picture. It's set in Ojai. I feel like you could see everything. You get to meet his brother and sister who died in the past. There's so much to this, and I think it could just be like so tense and so fun and so twisty. So perfect selection to be made into a TV show. I feel like it's all mostly TV shows rather than movies. We'll see. Next up, I feel like a lot of these are going to be no surprise to you guys because it's basically some of my most favorite books ever. But Tessa Wiegert, Death in the Family. This is for all my Agatha Christie isolated location thrillers, police investigation fans out there. This is her first book. This is the first in the Shana Merchant series. This is the first of her books that I read, which made me fall in love with this series. So we are set in Thousand Islands, which is like up, state New York. And we have a storm-struck island, a blood-soaked bed, and a missing man. So Shana has moved to this town. She was an NYPD detective. She's moved up here with her fiance, and basically this is like her first case, because of course it is. So her and her partner get called out to this island, which this family owns. So rich people behaving badly, other things that I love. And as we say, we've got a bloody bed and a missing person. So Shana and Tim go out there, and it's a house full of family and friends on the edge, a private island, and of course, after they get out there, the storm strikes, and then they get stuck out there. You have to wait and see what happens. It's so good. It's definitely tense. It's definitely fantastic characters. Like I say, very Agatha Christie. Everybody is a suspect, and there's some action to it. There's some great suspects, and again, I can just like visually see this, especially with the storm, just all of it, and I just think it could be absolutely amazing. And this could totally be a TV show, like a series, because Shana goes on into multiple books along with Tim, and it's just like a roaring good time. But first of her books, probably still my favorite so far. I still have another one to read, but huge fan of this. And just, you know, isolated thrillers, win. This could probably be a movie. This one could probably be a movie. Okay, I was about to say something lighter, but this is not at all light, but at the same time, it's kind of light. So The Wedding People, this is by Alison Espach, and I loved this. So this is one of those books that is simultaneously dark, but laugh out loud funny, and relatable in some ways, and endearing in other ways, and just such the perfect heroine. And mostly takes place in a 24-hour time frame or 48-hour time frame. Takes place over the course of a weekend. Math, Audrey. So this is set in Newport, Rhode Island. Can we all see it? Can we all see it? So Phoebe arrives at Cornwall Inn in a green dress and gold heels, not a bag in sight, and all alone. So her and her husband had made plans to go to this very fancy hotel in Rhode Island. Plans got messed up at a time. She winds up going on her own, and a little bit of a hitch by the hotel in that the entire place is rented out for a wedding that weekend, and Phoebe is the only non-wedding guest who is there. So immediately the bride sees her and is like, who is this? But Phoebe's very much like, no worries, I'm not gonna get in the way. I'm just here to do my own thing. And, you know, the bride winds up kind of befriending her, and they get very involved in each other's lives, and it's just so fantastic. It's very dark. If you know, you know. If you've read it, I loved it. It was just so much more than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be a fun time. I did not realize like how much I was going to fall in love with this book, and I was obsessed. I was absolutely obsessed. So it says, absurdly funny, devastatingly tender. A resonant look at the winding paths we can take to places we never imagined, and the chance encounters it sometimes takes to reroute us. So I think the dynamic between these two women, I can just see like the atmosphere of the party the night before, the wedding setup, like all of just like the fanfare. I want to say it's like 3 or 4 days. I always feel like a boob when I like don't remember some of this stuff. Yeah, Tuesday is the opening reception, is when it opens on. And then it goes till Monday, it looks like. So yeah, almost like a week. I went from 24 hours to 6 days, but You know what I mean. Anyway, absolutely great book. I think the visuals on this could be absolutely amazing. Like I'm just seeing like the water and like the breakers and those mansions and like all that beautiful scenery in Rhode Island. And I think it could be fantastic. I think it'd be fantastic. Wouldn't be a recommendation video if I wasn't going to recommend some of my all-time favorites. So first up, you probably already saw that one, is The Kinworth Killing by Peter Swanson. My favorite of his. I think this could be fantastic adapted. Some of these I don't, like there's definitely some books where I'm like, ooh, I would love to see it, but I don't know how they would pull it off. But they did Gone Girl, so like never say never. But this is a Strangers on a Plane kind of vibe, set around Boston, which you know I'm always a sucker for. And this book probably, yeah, not probably. This book is definitely still my favorite of his, so I only have his newest book left to read. I'm a huge fan of a lot of his books, but to me this is like the one. And you get great characters. I mean, it's Strangers on a Plane, so like you do mine, I do yours. You know, it's dark and messed up people doing dark and messed up things. I would love to see Lily and Ted come to life and watch them sort of plot and plan. There's a scene in this that reminds me of a scene in You, and I can like visualize it. They go to Maine in this one also, so again, like beautiful scenery could be shot, and just the twists and the turns and like the diabolical nature of it, and like the just entire, I feel like kind of like that Hitchcockian like suspense could be going into this book as well. But I think it could be so fantastic, and obviously like Patricia Highsmith because, you know, Strangers on a Train. But I loved this. I'm still obsessed with this one, and no disrespect to any of his other books, but I think this is like the best book that he wrote, and maybe I'm just a little bit biased, but you know, I think visually it could be fantastic. I think the mystery of it could be fantastic. I think the twists and turns to this would make for just like a great show. And even I feel like this is one that could definitely be like a multi-part, and there's like a few specific things that pop to mind where I'm like, ooh, that could be like a great cliffhanger to an episode. So it needs its place on the screen. And then of course, because you know, reunions are my thing. Past and present timelines are my thing. Ashley Winstead is my thing. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife needs to be on the screen, you guys. Think about like, it could be like a 6 episode or like an 8 episode, past and present timelines, great mystery. I feel like you could envision them in college. It's 10 years apart, so you could absolutely do the same actors. And not that I know which actors it would be, because I haven't figured that out yet. And also I'm not like hip on who the cool actors are these days, because I would be picking actors from 20 years ago. But I'd be like, oh my God, Katie Holmes could be in this. No, she could not. She's too busy hanging out with Joshua Jackson, my whole heart. Anyway, I would love to see the past and present of this. I love a campus book. I love in the present of this how they're there for homecoming and like just again the fanfare, whether it's like the football game or riding the floats, the reunion, the seeing each other for the first time, the cocktail party. There's a little bit of a Luckiest Girl Alive vibe to this to me, with like the coming back and the reunion piece of it. Luckiest Girl Alive, did I mention that when I was talking about what else is on Netflix? So that's another one I'm excited to see. But I think the campus could be amazing. Characters, obviously the murder, what happened, like overarching with that, the revenge plot to all of this. And, you know, what happened to Heather? Who was out for it? And is part of me really just thirsty to see Coop and Mint on the pages? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I absolutely am. We're going to get into Audrey's thirst in a couple more books also. But anyway, I do think this could be absolutely fantastic. I think it would make for a great transition to the screen. And I would love nothing more than for magic to happen for Ashley, because she rocks. I want magic to happen for all of these authors. All of them. Speaking of, where is it? Here we go. Magic needs to happen for the one and only Hannah Morrissey. Police detective, the way that they could turn this into a full-blown series, but you got to start at the beginning with Hello Transcriber, with Hazel and Cole in Black Harbor, in the police department, and the murder mystery, the darkness, the intrigue. This kind of gives me like a The Killing vibe, and the way it could roll series to series. And you've got crossover characters throughout all of the different books, but the town is the anchor. Talked about this before, like Dublin Murder Squad, but you could totally do like the Black Harbor series and just have all of these dark and messed up crimes happening, and then interweave our characters, because some of them get cameos here and there, some of them have larger parts in multiple books. But I think the possibilities are absolutely endless. So again, this is the first book in the series. I am obsessed. If you guys have been here for a beat, you know that already. But we have Hazel, who winds up doing the overnight transcriber job at the Black Harbor Police Department. And her first night there, someone comes knocking on the window and writes a message on the window for Hazel to see, and he's writing it with somebody else's finger. So there you go. And she winds up getting pulled into this investigation. She winds up getting very much drawn to the lead investigator, Cole. And we've got some very dark and messed up relationships in this. We have some very dark and messed up crimes. This entire town is not a place I would want to live, but I can see the darkness. Again, I can see it being shot. It's cold. There's so much edge to this. There's so much tension to this. And there's also just like incredibly written relationships to this. How she managed to do it in this short of a book, I am still in awe. Have I read this multiple times? You bet I have, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. This one has so much, like I say, series potential to it. Let's manifest that for Hannah. And then, not gonna pick that one. But of course, Riley Sager needs a spot. So I know a lot of his books, if not all of his books, have been optioned, and you know, Hollywood's a weird place, so let's make it happen. So many of you probably thought maybe I was gonna pick Final Girls, which I would absolutely love to see. You guys know I love a Scream, you guys know I love a slasher, but I really think Home Before Dark could be a lot of fun. So this is one of those where I'm not wholly sure how some of it would be done, not my problem to figure out, but the past and present timelines. So the past is done in a book that her father wrote. So in this one, why do I assume everybody knows what all these books are about? We're following Maggie. So her father has passed away, and after his death, she winds up inheriting this home, Bainbury Hall, where she lived 25 years ago with her parents when she was younger. And it is the house that made her family famous because her dad wrote a book basically about how that house was haunted. So very Amityville horror. And Maggie had assumed her dad got rid of this house, but he didn't. So she's a house flipper, as fate would have it. So she inherits it, decides she's gonna fix it up, and she's gonna sell it. But when she returns to the house, she starts to kind of see all those things that her dad talked about happening there, even though she never really believed it was true. And now she's really starting to second guess everything and then some. So in this book, the past timeline is her father's book embedded in it, so book within a book. But you could very easily show all the dark and creepiness in the past. This one definitely has a bit of like a Stephen King vibe to it. And again, he often dances the line of thriller and horror. So I think you could really play and have fun with it. And also, obviously, all of these books don't always get translated like exactly to the screen, like deviations are made. So you could definitely have some fun with this one too. But this one is bells that ring themselves, record players that turn on and play to empty rooms. Like I could hear 16 going on 17. Like I can picture it, you're downstairs. I can picture like the bells and everything in the kitchen. Like I can just see it happening on the screen, and I just think it would be absolutely amazing. And oh, I feel like it could be so creepy. Like this could be such an elevated creepy vibe of a show, and like a perfect, obviously like spooky season type of a movie, multi-part series. And yeah, I think Riley needs his chance in the darkness. I was going to say in the sun. He needs his chance in the darkness on the screen. And something that is absolutely has cinematic all over it is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I loved this book so much. So competitive ice dancing, multiple timelines, multiple POVs. This is like so ripe for the adapting, I think. I can just picture, again, how this could be done. So you've got this kind of documentary piece to it in the present, which is recapping everything that happened. And like, I can just picture the people on the screen. I can picture all of the footage of all of the ice dancing that happened in the past, all of the Olympics and the different competitions that they go to. So we are following Katerina Shaw and Heath Roca. This says, everyone thinks Heath Roca was my first love. He wasn't. My first love was figure skating. So the two of them have known each other since they were kids, and they wind up just becoming these phenoms that nobody saw coming. This is a Wuthering Heights retelling. You don't need to know anything about Wuthering Heights. I did not know the intricate details of Wuthering Heights, so definitely some stuff was lost on me. And then after I watched about, I don't know, 7 Lane Fargo interviews after the book came out, and then she told us all the details, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed all this stuff. So I just had the best time with this. But again, you've got multiple timelines. There's so much glamour and tension and like that competition to it, and like I can just picture like the skating outfits and the music and just that whole atmosphere that could be created. And again, you've got this documentary in the present, so people are talking about stuff but you don't quite know what happened in the past, and the evolution of this love story relationship, like epic love between them. And then assuming she would keep it set in the same time, you could use that Taylor Swift Last Time song, which is like, ah, na, 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 just epic, 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 epic. And I just think it would be absolutely amazing. So great references to this. I just think like I was gonna say the swimming costumes, the skating costumes, like all of it could just be so visually interesting and fun. Could they get Johnny Weir to also be in it? He did the audiobook narration. I think there's so much potential. I mean, so many of these books do, but I would park myself in front of the TV for any of these. So making this happen, making this happen. And if we want to keep it, if you're here for the rom-com with a dash of darkness to it, weightiness, as I like to say, How to Fake It in Hollywood. I was talking about this when I was doing one of my bookshelf unhauls. You guys might not have seen that one yet, but I definitely talked about Ava Wilder's new book in my October new releases. But this is the first book of hers that I have read, and I'm still totally obsessed with it. So it's 2 famous actors who wind up fake dating for the publicity of it all. This is also one of those books that has a character named Audrey in it. Such a narcissist. So we have Gray Brooks. She's on a mission to keep her career afloat now that her long-running TV teen soap has come to an end. And then Ethan Atkins just wants to be left alone. So he is coming off a high-profile divorce, struggles with drinking, and grief over the death of his longtime creative partner and best friend. He has faded into the background. But they share a publicist, I want to say. And to help both of their careers, let's fake date each other. Let's, clean up Ethan's act. Let's elevate Gray's profile by attaching her to this definitely like a little bit troublesome, but high profile actor. And it says, though their juicy public relationship is less than perfect behind the scenes, it doesn't take long before Gray and Ethan's sizzling chemistry starts to feel more than just an act. I love this book so much because it's not just an easy arc to the end. There's darkness to this. There is definitely some steam to this. I love this book so much. And I just think these are such strong characters. Like, I am still obsessed with them. Did I put a date in this? I didn't. I read this, came out in 2022, so I probably read it 3 years ago. I still think about this book, and I just think it's absolutely amazing. Characters are so well written. I love a Hollywood story, you guys. So I can just think about like sort of like the low-key washed up actor who like chose to disappear from the spotlight, and then someone who's like up and coming and trying to like shake off her teen soap image but also stay relevant. And then, the magic happens when they get together, and it's just so good. So I think this one could be absolutely amazing. Just think about like the possibility of the Hollywood side of it. So not quite like an Entourage, but just think about being a little bit behind the curtain in the Hollywood side. And again, complicated relationships, and it's not afraid to go to some dark places. Not like Kinworth Killing kind of a dark, but people are dark and complicated and messy and make mistakes, and that's what makes them human, and that's probably what made it feel relatable to me. And I loved it. I mean, not that I know a famous guy that was fake dating, but you know what I mean. So anyway, Hollywood heartthrob, up and comer, really great. But if you are here for dark Hollywood, The Hurricane Blonde by Hallie Sutton. This has true crime vibes to it. This also has like such great potential to become, I'm trying to think, I feel like this could be a great movie. Yeah, I would do this as a movie. In Hollywood, there are blondes and there are blondes. There are Hitchcock's icy blonde sufferers, the curves everywhere blonde spilling out of her bra, the power blondes begging to be taken down a notch, the blondes who make the prettiest corpses. None of them held a candle to the hurricane blonde. So Selma understands better than anyone how Hollywood chews up and spits out its starlets. She's the offspring of Hollywood royalty, a former child star turned true crime guide on a true crime tour bus. And her sister Tawny, who was dubbed the Hurricane Blonde, was murdered in the mid-90s. The case remains unsolved. And then she discovers, while she's on one of her own true crime tours, another dead woman with an uncanny resemblance to Tawny on the very property where her sister was killed. Oh my God, this book was so good. So again, we get multiple timelines in this, and trying to piece together what happened in the past and what is going on in the present and how does it connect. And there's so much potential for the dark side of the film industry. There's a lot of references to famous Hollywood mysteries. And I just thought this was so, so good. I really need to read her other book, which I have back here and I keep saying and I haven't read it yet. And it says, the search for the truth will take her deep into the rotten heart of Hollywood, past and present, and into her family's dark secrets. So again, she is, offspring of Hollywood royalty. So we get to hear all about her family. And again, sort of these epic mansions, this life back into the 90s for the past timeline. And I just think, I don't know, we know that Taylor Jenkins Reid used to be here, but I moved her when I did my unhaul. Anyway, I know a lot of hers are getting made into movies, but thinking that Evelyn Hugo, but this is a much darker, murderer side of the Hollywood life. And I just think this could be a great noir, just a fantastic movie, and really delve into that dark side of Hollywood. And she just does some fun stuff in here. And she's got these real kind of wild behind the curtain, it feels like, scenes. And I know she did a lot of research. I listened to some interviews with her as well. She has been on Kate's Book Wild podcast a couple times. She co-hosts with her a lot. But I find her really interesting, really funny. And yeah, just delving into the dark side of things. So dark side of Hollywood, yes, please. And then last but never least, Jennifer Hillier had to be on this list. I had a hard time thinking about which one of her books, but then I was like, let's go with the original. The original one that I read, my still all-time favorite of hers, Jar of Hearts. Again, multiple timelines, the past and present mysteries of it all. This one goes real dark. I can only imagine how cringeworthy the jail scenes in this would be. Oh, this book made me uncomfortable, but in such a good way. Not that I enjoy the jail scenes, but you know what I mean. It definitely pushed me in a lot of ways, I found. And I was just amazed by what she did with this book when I read it for the first time. It's kind of so many of these books opened up a different part of my brain and a different part of my reading after the fact. I sought out a lot of darker books after I read this. This definitely feels like a tipping point book. Even though I was reading a lot of dark stuff, this is a different kind of dark. But we're following Geo. And 5 years ago, her first love was revealed as a terrifying serial killer. And he escaped custody and went on the run. So now bodies are starting to turn up, killed in exactly the same way as before. And back when Geo was in high school, her best friend was murdered. And ultimately, this happens in the very beginning of the book, her body was found in the woods behind Gia's house, which ultimately leads her to go into jail. So there's a lot of mystery about what's going on. There's a lot of questions happening here. And yeah, Lisa Unger's quote on the back of this is, it's an edgy thriller with a lot of surprises. Buckle up, buckle up Buttercup for sure with this one. And it is dark and delicious and wonderful. And I can just hear Nine Inch Nails playing in certain scenes back when they're in high school. And I can just picture past Geo and Calvin, and I can picture present day Geo and trying to rebuild her life and trying to move on from what happened in the past. Oh my God, I can just picture it. And then her and her best friend. And so her best friend from high school, Kaiser, is now a police officer. And it's just, it's intricate and it's dark and it's complicated and it's messy. And this is so no holds barred. And again, not quite The Killing visually, but I feel like a really good darkness of that vibe to it. Good Girl's Guide to Murder is shot very dark as well, like visually dark. So I'm picturing this very visually dark versus I feel like this could be so bright and beautiful, but also have its own kind of darkness to it, where I feel like this could be like physically shot in a darkness. Do you guys know what I mean? Like how some TV shows are like literally dark, not just content-wise dark. I feel like you do. Am I just talking to myself here? Anyway, I love this book so much, and it just seems like there's so much potential to how you could create this. They are in Seattle. Just feel like that whole like rainy vibe to it. I know it's not always rainy in Seattle, but everyone just assumes it always is rainy in Seattle. And just all of it could be so beautifully done. I can't believe this book is from 2018. It feels like yesterday. Like it just feels like not that long ago that I was reading this for the first time. But so I just opened like a random page because buried things can and do come back. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. So good. So that is just a smattering of books. But anyway, I got super excited after I saw the reunion, so stay tuned. I mean, I'm trying not to become a total TV zombie these days, but Hunting Party was Hunting Wives. But you know what would be an absolutely great TV show is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Why did I not think of that one? But anyway, I could do this all day, you guys. But let me know which book to screens are some of your favorite adaptations. I know sometimes it can be hard. I get a little bit worried about watching them sometimes. So I'm partway through Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm enjoying it. It's actually making me want to reread the books. I talked about this also in one of my unhaul videos. There's a lot of books I want to reread, but I need to work on like reading for the first time before I dive into a reread plan. But anyway, let me know which adaptations you guys are most excited about. Are you going to watch Ruth Ware? Which ones are you loving? And what book would you like to see brought to the big screen? Because there's so much potential and I'm just amazed. There's just so many great ones that are out there, and I know I'm missing like a cajillion, but my brain is like, it's just Ruth Ware. It's all I can think about is Ruth Ware. So very excited for that. Very excited to hear what you guys have to say, but thank you so much for watching today. I hope you guys found this one fun. I've got some more unhaul videos coming your way and, you know, some more other fun stuff, I hope. So take care until next time, you guys. I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.